Good morning and welcome to the Let's Talk Business podcast presented to you by Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce via GMT Radio. Today we have a very special member in the house, LaQuondra Levias. But first things first, I got to thank our President and Chairman Club members, Amico Federal Credit Union, Enlightenment Enterprises, Lamar Institute of Technology in Beaumont, Lone Star College, the Linwood Group, Southwest Airlines, and Quality Precision Coatings, and supporting our Let's Talk Business podcast. Good morning again, and it's been a while since we've talked, since we've been live, but I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy that we have a guest, because it's been a while since I had a guest, too. I like to have somebody in here with me. It's fun for me. When it's just me by myself, it's like a test. I'm like, oh, did I do that? Did I do this? Well, yeah, I enjoy having members on with us. I'd like to start off by stating our mission statement. We are committed to acquiring and disseminating valuable business information, resources, and tools for member firms to achieve entrepreneurial parity and economic prosperity in the region and international. All right. So we have some upcoming events coming up, most notably our annual Business Choice Awards. We're going to give you the details on that. And trust me, you all, you want to be prepared. I hope you're coming. But if you're not, get prepared. Get you a nice gown, tux for the boys, all three of them. Okay, it's going to be a one-of-a-kind event. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be held at the Four Seasons Hotel downtown. We're going to have red carpet. It's going to be nice. So you definitely want to be there. We're going to have some more details, but it is June 25th. Okay. So you better find that dress quick. Went to Dillard's.
Okay.
And Macy's. Macy's in the Galleria, ladies. Some nice gowns. Nice gowns. Nice variety of gowns. So, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so like you said, I'm LaQuondra Levias. I'm a licensed professional counselor supervisor. And so, specialize in mental health and just trying to help people work through whatever they need to work through.
Right. So tell me about your counseling practice and how you got started in this endeavor.
So my counseling practice is called You Can Too Professional Counseling Service. And so the name is pretty much the message that I want everyone to receive is that you can too. So whatever it is that you want to do, we do a lot of comparisons. So how come this person can do this, that person can do that? You can too, right? So whatever it is, if it's a feeling, an emotion, whatever you're chasing, we talk through it, set some goals, and hopefully, feel empowered to be able to do what they want to do.
So, especially the Black community, just talking about having mental health, it's kind of I don't want to say a strange field that you went into, but I'm interested in how you got there, especially being a Black woman in the community.
Yeah.
Like, what made you, how did you get into this?
Definitely not something we talk about enough, right?
Right.
I've kind of always had that kind of quiet, observant nature, which I think makes it easy for people to just kind of open up because, just not being real, loud and in the spotlight. And so it's like, okay, that person probably not going to tell my business, or they might not even have the audience, to tell. So
right.
Just kind of always, and being able to rationalize and think things through. I mean, even in our house growing up, my dad would bring disagreements to me, like, hey, what do you think about this, right? So nothing heated, obviously. I didn't see a lot of fighting and things like that, but if him and mom were kind of toying between a decision, he would say, what do you think about it? Lay out the facts and kind of let me play the third party. So it's weird, right?
But it's so sweet.
Yeah, so it's not a normal experience. I know most parents are like, this is not, children's business. And I might have known things that I shouldn't have, but nothing that was traumatizing, right? So that's kind of, it just naturally fell upon me. And so I looked into it, went to school, did all the things, and
okay. I think everything that you're saying is very important, because if you're apprehensive about doing counseling or seeking some type of mental health remedy, you want to feel safe with whoever
Mm-hmm.
you're speaking to. So your father felt safe with you. Now, I'm not promoting, I don't know her, but I think that's like a really good point that you brought out, because
Right.
some people may not even be able to, um, put it into words why they have a fear of going.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they
Mm-hmm.
want to feel safe. So anyway, that was just my little 2 cents. So what do you think people should look for in a counselor? I just said what I think, but
That's one of the biggest things, right, is to be able to feel safe.
Mhm.
You also want to look for what type of specialties they might have, right? How long they've been practicing. Um, People ask for all different types of things, and I think sometimes people don't know you can be specific. There's lots of counselors, and you can say, I want a Christian counselor, I want a counselor that focuses on trauma, and you could ask what type of certifications do you have in this area. You could say, I want a counselor that's comfortable with LGBTQ issues, because if you're not comfortable with it as my counselor, then why would I come to you, right?
Right.
So just getting a feel of what the counselor's experience is and what they can do for you, because you have to have a good fit. Everybody's not going to be a good fit for you, and it's okay if you go to one and it's not a good fit, but to keep trying, right? Find somebody else.
Right.
The cost, right? We got to talk about that.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes we make it a luxury and not a priority based on the cost.
Mhm.
I don't really know how to fix that, right? Because the counselors have to eat too, so it can't be free all the time. There are some places where you can get some free help, but definitely you want to talk about the cost, if they accept insurance, so that you can go through your insurance. So just like you said, someone to be comfortable with, but then what can they actually do for you, and are we a good fit? You can ask for free consultation. Most counselors will do at least 15 minutes. Let's just kind of meet, even if it's virtual, let's just chat. Let's see if you're going to be a good fit for, me as a client and me as your counselor.
Right. So, I mean, similar to going to find any other,
Provider.
so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
provider,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You got to, sometimes, I mean, how many general care physicians have I gone through? Like, some of them are terrible. Or
Right.
I don't like their bedside manner. Or maybe they smell. Or, if I'm
Yeah.
not comfortable, then it's already an uncomfortable type of experience.
Exactly.
Right? So if I'm not, then
Exactly.
you got to shop around. You can't scroll like Amazon and just look at 4 stars and 5 stars.
Right.
And things like that. So it may be a process, but it's worth it. And like you said, I agree. If you find one that's not working for you, find another one, but keep trying.
Right. And a lot of people do stop after that first bad experience because they think that's how it is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely would say keep looking.
And then, TV doesn't make you guys look good. So, if they have a bad experience, it's like, oh, it's just like on TV.
Right,
I knew it.
Yes, we are the brunt of the joke sometimes
Yes.
on TV. It's like, and the whole lay on the couch.
Right.
No, that's not how it goes. Right.
You don't wear glasses and
No, I
just
don't.
right the whole time. I mean, I know you have to make notes or whatever, but
Right.
TV does make a joke out of it. So what would you say we should do for ourselves as like self-care and coping? What's something that we can do daily, even if we don't
Right.
seek the help that we need?
It's a good question. Because most people won't, and some people will make the initial contact. They'll reach out, but then they won't show up because whatever the fear got inside their head, and they're like, I don't know if I really want to do this, or I had a better day today, so I don't probably really need this. Right? I was just struggling the other day.
Right.
So self-care, we hear that a lot, and it's pretty common in the media, right? And so some people have made it out to be bubble baths and pedicures, and that's fine if that's your thing. But self-care is just whatever you're going to intentionally do to replenish your energy, right? To take care of yourself, because we take care of so many people. We work, right? So you're doing whatever your responsibilities are at work. If you have a family, you have responsibilities there. You're helping friends. but giving yourself an opportunity to replenish your energy and rest and relax, whatever you're going to need to keep showing up. Because that's what we burn out. We just, I've done all the things and I didn't take care of myself in the process. So if it's drinking water, because I need to be hydrated, that can be self-care. That's so simple, but how many people are dehydrated? Don't intentionally drink water, right? So it can be so simple. Self-care doesn't have to be this elaborate, like I'm taking a trip to Jamaica, right? It can be as simple as saying no, setting a boundary. I can't do that today. Or, like I said, just drinking water, it's the essential things that your body needs to survive.
Well said. Well said. I think my self-care today is just going to go have lunch.
And that
by myself.
That's self-care. Absolutely.
Like, oh, I'll come with you. No.
By myself. That's the part.
That's it. Just one lunch. Ain't hurt nobody. So, what advice would you give to aspiring counselors?
So, when you graduate, you have to have a supervisor. So counselors go through what they call an associate process, kind of like an internship.
Okay.
After graduate school, where they have to have a board-approved supervisor. So definitely vet your supervisor just like you would a counselor. What kind of experience do you have? What is this going to be like? Because the supervisor has to spend 4 hours a month with you for a minimum of 18 months. So you're going to really get to know this person. They almost become like a friend, but they don't cross too many boundaries, but
like a mentor.
Exactly. Okay. And so who am I going to be talking to? Who am I going to spend time with? A lot of times counselors look for the cheapest person because they do have to pay for the supervision even though it's required. Sorry. But who can I spend time with? What kind of clients have they had experience working with? I tell people, I can work with any population, but I think my best work is with adults, not with children. And so if someone says, I always wanted to be a children's therapist, I just want to talk to all the babies, well, I'm probably not the supervisor for them, right? So look for the supervisor that's going to fit well with your goals and dreams, that can teach you something. And then also look for, when you're wanting to become a counselor, make sure you check out the school that you're going to, that they have the proper accreditations, and do your own work. So if you need to go to counseling, because you're going to sit with a lot of problems from others that might trigger things in you that you're like, ooh, I forgot that was an issue for me, and you don't want to put your issues onto the client, right? Because it's their time that they've paid for their issues. Right. So work through your own stuff first.
So that's actually good that you have that 18 months because, a lot of times even if you're like perfect at your job, there's still things that you learn along the way. And
exactly.
And so I'm not speaking as to in your job, but if you're a counselor, like I said, it may trigger things in you that you have to work through. And wow. Okay, so what would you leave the Black community in terms of just something about mental health that you want to leave with the Black community?
Talk. That's the word.
We don't.
I know. And so if I had to say one thing to us, it's to talk. Stop holding it in. And for those that are listening, don't feel responsible for fixing. Don't take it personal or like they're blaming you if they're telling you about some things that are problems to them. I think that's part of the problem why people don't talk. It's uncomfortable because the listener doesn't know how to react to it because it makes them uncomfortable.
Right, so they can't listen objectively.
Right. You start telling me all these things and it makes me feel weird, so I don't want to hear it. And so to the one who needs some support, be brave enough to say it. And for the listener, just listen. Sometimes that's really all it takes. There's so much freedom in speaking what's going on. So for the person that is brave enough to talk to you, just listen. They don't really need you to fix it all the time.
Well, I think it's equally, if you can, I know your feelings are involved, but it's equally freeing to just listen sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, just be like,
You gain a
Well, okay.
perspective. Yeah.
You don't have to even say anything back all the time.
Right.
It's just like, noted. That's cool. But thank you for that. Yes, talk and listen. It's so freeing. It's so freeing, especially just knowing in our community that you don't. So it's so crippling.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we just loosen up those little chains, we'll be all right.
There you go.
We'll be better for sure. I don't know about all right. Well, LaQuondra, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, and thank you for the wisdom that you've put on us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Sweet. All right, so I'd like to go back and thank our President and Chairman Club members, Amico Federal Credit Union, Enlightenment Enterprises, Lamar Institute of Technology in Beaumont, Lone Star College, the Linwood Group, Southwest Airlines, and Quality Precision Coatings, and supporting our Let's Talk Business podcast. And of course, thank you to GMT Radio for broadcasting us live every Friday. Well, hello, my love.
Hello, my darling.
I'm happy to see you, and I like that shirt.
You like the shirt? I like yours too. I was trying to find a white one today, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
Couldn't
mine
find
almost
it.
didn't work. It was a little wrinkly, and I was running out
Oh,
of time.
well, you know, we'll keep that a secret. I don't think they can tell.
No, I ironed it. I figured it out.
Oh, you ironed it. Well, mine wasn't ironed, so we'll leave that one alone. Okay, so, yeah, I hear we had, what was our last guest?
LaQuondra Levias.
Yeah, I come in on the tail end of it, so I think there was some very good information that was being shared.
Yes. Very, very
Okay,
good.
so well, my reason for being here at this moment is because we have a big event coming up on the 25th of June, which today we have, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Whew.
We have next Friday, and then after that, we have a big sponsor. It's called GOPX. That stands for Game On Players. And when I say a big sponsor, I'm talking about our title sponsor, who is considered a platinum sponsor. And they'll be on the 24th, that Friday. So it's going to bring a lot of information. So we definitely want our listeners and our members that are listening to be able to participate in the award ceremony on June 25th at the Four Seasons Hotel, downtown Houston. And you'd be surprised. I already know about a bus that's bringing 36 people. They're going to be headed to Houston at 3:30. So you know it's going to be a party bus.
Oh,
I can't
Lord.
tell you who it is right now. But it's a party bus coming to the party so they can party afterwards. So, we're excited about that. And we're excited this year because we usually have about 10 honorees, but this year we have a total of 15. So we've added 2 more categories. I think we've added 3 categories. Yeah, I think so. We've added the Trailblazer.
Oh, the Trailblazer,
Yes,
yes.
so I'm excited because the Trailblazer Award is about an individual. And by the way, all of our awards are we honor members. So we don't take nominations from the public. Well, we do take nominations from our committees, from our board members, from our advisory board members, because these they're in communication with members. We know members that show up, and we know we can pay attention. We see what our members are doing. So we have interaction with them. So our Business Choice Awards is to actually acknowledge, recognize, and congratulate our members on the achievements in those different categories. So the Trailblazer is one to where you find a person who's saying, this is something I want to do. It's not the norm. I'm not all, it's just, let's take women. When women became wrestlers, that was not the norm.
Right.
Men were wrestlers that
Right.
you saw on television. And when women came into it, someone had to say, let's do this. Let's give it, let's go out there and let's show the world that we can too. Just because we're women doesn't mean we can't. And this is what we consider as a trailblazer. So we have that person. I'm not going to name any names this week
Okay.
because I want everybody to go to the website and see who those individuals are,
Yes.
because they are on our site. But we do have the trailblazer, and I think we've always had our rising stars.
Mm-hmm.
So as we bring on more regions, then we have more rising stars.
Mm.
So these are also members who became a member and took advantage of everything that the chamber had to offer. Matter of fact, the reason they joined the chamber was to have access to valuable business information, access to resources, and access to tools. And believe me, they accessed. So they are considered our rising stars. So we have 4 of them. We have an advocate. We also have strategic partners. And one of our, and I can tell you who this strategic partner is. Well, no, I won't. I'll stick to the script. The script is not to mention any names yet.
Mm-hmm.
Next Friday, we will do a rundown and we'll congratulate our honorees through our podcast. And then the Friday after that, we'll have our platinum sponsor who will be providing a lot of information,
Yes.
a lot of things that's going to change our economic outlook about how we grow our businesses, how we become wealthy. So we're excited about that. And let's see, I said we had 2 more.
Mm-hmm. We have an international.
Yes, we have an
advocate.
international advocate. We have members that live in different cities and states.
Mm-hmm.
And so we always look at how do we, as we interact with them, what is their biggest purpose for being involved with us? Because, we're in Houston, Texas.
Right.
And in Texas, we have a lot of opportunity through different certification programs. You have to be a resident of Texas
Mm-hmm.
in order to take advantage of those. So when we have members from different states, then these are members who are actually looking to be a part of our international program. And so they are out there advocating. And we have one in particular. So I'm excited about announcing who she is, because I think everybody pretty much know her, because she's been on every trip of the train. Oh, let me say it like this, on every trip of the plane, okay? And so...
You are absolutely right.
Yes, okay. So she's a strong advocate, and she's telling others in her state about us, and so that's an exciting part for us. So she is an international advocate, and then we have our domestic advocate, the person here in within our service area.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, is there anything else?
We have an image award.
We do. Now, every year we don't have one, but this year we did, because we pay attention. And what is our image award about? It's about the visibility that people see in a company. What that company is out in the community. That company is making connections. That company is growing communities and providing resources and access to tools and information. And they have the image of what a community partner
Mm-hmm.
should have. How we see our community and those that service our community do we see them? What light do we see them in? Do we see them as the image of this is how you serve a community?
Yes.
Okay, so we have that one. And we don't have it every year, at least we didn't have it last year, but we will have it this year. And we're excited about who they are.
Yes, we are. And it's not a secret. You just got to do some work and go find out.
Yes. We want you to go. Right. We want you to go. Thank you. Go to the website. Check it out.
Yeah.
And then if you have not bought your ticket to participate, you can, while you're on the website checking it out, you can get your ticket. Go to events, click on in all events and scroll down. And there it is. You can get a ticket. And if you know somebody who has a table, then you can call them up and ask them if they have room at their table for you to sit with them. But I will tell you, we have 42 tables and we may be moving up to 50. So we do have a very small number of seats left. But if the demand starts to grow bigger, then we will definitely add on. Right now, we're at 42 tables.
Okay. There was one last award.
Which one was that?
Mentioned the Legacy Award.
Yes. We have that too. It's kind of like the image.
Oh.
It's not every year,
Okay.
but it's when we have a member that we know or who become a member, and then we interact with them, and then we find out information about them, and they have been in business for 20 plus years, and not just been in business for 20 plus years, but passing that business down to their relatives, their children, their kin people. So and they're grooming their relatives. They're grooming their children to take over the business. So they are creating a legacy, and that takes me back to the theme, celebrating legacies in motion. Now, what that means, in case anyone had a question, is that we are moving toward creating legacies. You're in business and you have children, you have nieces, you have nephews. It's time now to start introducing them to the business. It may be a summer job. They just may come in and take out the trash, but they're exposed to the information, to the environment, and they will see something a whole lot different because, when you go back into history, our community is not very groomed in business. And here, because, the push was go to college, which, yes, you do need to be educated. You do need to have information, but we've been mainly pushed toward getting a job. Go get a paycheck, take some of it, put it in a savings account. You know how we've been groomed. And retire so that you'll have a retirement amount. And when I was growing up, it was the gold watch, and then I guess everybody sold their gold watch because there was no money coming in. Okay, so now for us, economically wise, our push is going to be more of creating producers. We eat, we live somewhere, we buy clothes. Are we producing those? Are we producing food? So if the food runs out, what are we going to be doing? Look, I ain't going to call no names, but let's just say a grocery store says, we're out of food. Then what? We're not producing the food. We're depending on someone else to provide us with something. And we have the skills, the talent, we got it. And it's time, and this is why we need to expose our young people to what we got. so they can internalize that. I got it too. I come from what they said, the fruit don't fall far from the tree.
Right.
I got it. So they have to see it in order for them to feel like they got it too.
Yeah.
So now we can produce. We can produce clothing. We can produce all the luxury things that people like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jewelry, big, but we can produce it. We got people who are in the construction business. They're building homes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We have people who are looking at developing communities. And you want to develop a community? Well, somebody's got to build the models and put everything there. And guess, all of that. So guess what? We're fully funded with everything that we need to produce. Even right now, we're on the radio, right?
Yeah.
It's being produced.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to get information out there because we have a producer that produces radio. And everybody know who that is, GMT Radio, right?
Hey.
So we got to do a shout out because this is what it's about. I know I kind of deviated a little bit, but I wanted to get the legacy understanding in there when we say celebrating legacies in motion, which means we're moving toward creating legacies. We already have legacies, but we don't know about them, do we?
Mm-hmm.
The one big legacy that we have don't even come to our minds is how do we get where we are today? From somewhere. We got families.
Yeah.
We didn't just appear. We came
Right.
onto this earth through somebody who, if we go back to 1700s?
Mm-hmm.
So how did we keep moving and keep going and keep multiplying? Right? Because we come from somewhere. We come from some people. So we are a legacy in this country. We survived this country.
Yes.
We've survived. I was at an event yesterday in Galveston celebrating Juneteenth.
Okay.
Learned that Juneteenth is a state holiday and now it is a national
Is it?
holiday. Yes,
Oh,
that's
it is
what we've
because
learned.
it's on my calendar here.
Yeah, we've learned. And so that's a legacy because 157 years ago, or let's say 160 years ago, we were considered enslaved. 157 years ago, the Marines rode up on me. I may be telling the story wrong, so I'm going to go back to the ship. The ships came up on Galveston Island and said, "You are free." That's a legacy that we need to always keep in our minds. We're free. We're free to think. We're free to act. We're free to create. And in creating, we will produce. So this is what our celebrating legacies in motion. We could have just said celebrating legacies.
Right.
But when we put the word in motion, that means movement. Let's create the legacy that we begin, and let's keep it going, and so that we will create more producers. If you notice, I stayed away from the word entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs is a start. It's a start of a thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get into producing, it's a whole different game.
Yes.
It's business. And we got to know the rules to the game. Because we can play it. But anyway, that's what we're here for.
Yes.
We know the game. Let's
know
put it like
the
this. We know business. Our members make it happen. We know business. Our members make business happen. Because we come together and we share information. And we definitely are creating legacies. So now, did I miss anything?
The businessman and businesswoman.
Those are two new ones.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
those are two new. Thank you for bringing that. Well, we call it the Businessman of the Year and the Businesswoman of the Year because, again, we pay attention to our members, especially members who are interactive. They say, we need this support. The chamber provides it. We're coming after it. See, we're of no value unless someone utilizes what we have.
Right.
Because we say we know business. And not just the leadership, but members know business. And how are you going to get that information if you're not involved in the same network, that information? You know, when you think about a network, even Comcast has a network.
Yeah.
They were telling me yesterday about, oh, you're on some kind of coaxial. Well, what is that? Well, it's a bunch of little things, and that's how it's a bunch of wiring. I don't know, but it was a network, and that network moves and shares information within its confounds. And so this is what we are. We are a network of business owners. Business owners. Now, our business owners they do all kind of things. They have their lives to live.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them love sports, some like fishing, some like whatever it is that they do. They are creating and producing. So, Businessman of the Year is it's just truly that. We've seen a person come and understand, I'm in business. And I have to do business. And so the same thing for the woman. I'm in business. I am in business. So I got to move the business. I got to produce. And so when we interact with our members, we want to let them know we see you, we recognize, we congratulate you, and we want to honor you. So this is why they're called honorees, because we want to honor that, because it's important that someone else sees that it can be done. If someone else is doing it, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to find out what they're doing, how they doing it, and guess what? They don't mind sharing that information.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't mind sharing. People who know what they're doing, people who like what they're doing, people who are doing, do not mind sharing information.
Because no matter how much information they give you, you can't do it like them. So that's
It's
why.
theirs, right?
Here you go.
It's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Information. Once you receive it, it belongs to you.
Yeah.
It's determined. What happens is how you put it out there, how you use that information for your agenda, for what makes you be thrilled every morning when you wake up. Like, ooh, I'm so glad I'm awake, because now I can start doing some stuff this morning. You know, every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, thank you. I got something I can do today. Otherwise, if not, there won't be nothing I'm doing today. So it's important that we belong to network. You know, you have engineers. They belong to a network because they pass information. You got accountants. They belong to network. You got broadcasters. They belong to network for information because that is a specialized field. But that's not the only network they belong to, because there's other things that we need. And we have to spread around to make sure we're tapping into every information base that we can. So, yes, thank you for bringing them to us. So we have the Businesswoman of the Year, the Businessman of the Year, and next week we'll start talking about who they are. But go to our website. Their names are there if you're interested.
And I want to say that I think it's awesome that the chamber hosts the Business Choice Awards, and I'm not the only one that feels that way. I had the opportunity to interview our honorees, and
yes, you did.
just the excitement and just like this moment that they had to them, just for them, that they never thought would come, and they just been waiting on that one day. Just give me some flowers, please.
Yes.
And so when they finally got to that point and were presented with this award, they were all so ecstatic and humbled and nervous and at a loss for words, a whole lot of stuff. So that was awesome.
The Business Choice Awards is about appreciation, and we all need to be appreciated.
Yes.
Because we have stuff going on, and in the midst of that stuff, we're still moving and giving of ourselves to others and producing. And sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, as a human being, we just want to be appreciated. That just lets us know, yeah, we're doing something.
It's not in vain either.
Right. We're doing something, and somebody recognizes it. And so this is why, for us, our appreciation is definitely targeted to our members. Membership has privileges.
Oh, yes.
So we someone may nominate somebody, well, we hope that person become a member one day if they're not. And because we see things going on in our community, we recognize people, and we do appreciate them. And we have the opportunity, we'll say, thank you, you're doing a great job. Thank you for your service. Thank you for offering these things. Thank you for advocating. You're just not a member. But we thank you. We appreciate you. Members, we must recognize and appreciate.
Yes. And thank you.
Thank you.
So we have any other, what's coming up? We have Belize coming up, don't we?
Oh, that's right. Yes, we have a mission to Belize. Right now we have 25 delegates. And this particular mission is not necessarily fact-finding. This mission is one to where we're actually connecting people to the resources and the tools that they would need to consider international business, as to how to get into it. The exporting aspect of it. The U.S. is promoting exporting, and there's the reason the U.S. promoting exporting is because there's opportunity to become wealthy in exporting. So now look, you have Exim Bank, which is an exporting bank, and why is it an exporting bank? Because it gives money to people or to businesses, let me back up, to businesses that can put a U.S. product in another country. Because developing countries, emerging countries, are just that, they need. Okay? And so the U.S. says, well, guess what? We got what you need. Is that a song? We got what you need, and you can buy it. So whatever their currency is, of course, that goes through international exchange, and it gets back to the U.S. in the U.S. dollar. So if you are considering exporting, then you just need to know what product is going to be one that's going to be very instrumental in you becoming an exporter. And exporters are wealthy people. So how many of them you know that are exporting? So it's time for you to know somebody who look like you that is exporting.
That looks like you.
We said what I said earlier, producers. If you can produce something, you can produce a training manual. You can train somebody. That is an export. If if you go over to provide any kind of service, that is an export. And so the U.S. has things in place that will assist you in getting that to another country. Yeah, if you want to, let's say in the other country they want shoes. They're looking for shoes. Well, you can sell them shoes, but you got to, first of all, get the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So Exim Bank has what is called working capital, because the shoes are being made here in the U.S., right? Mm-hmm. So it's a U.S. product going to another country. So they will give you the working capital to get the shoes and then sell them in the other country, make your money, and of course you got to pay that. But I can do that.
I can do that. I was like,
easily.
I'm like, okay.
Yes, I'm gonna sell 200,000 headbands. Okay, because what you have in these countries, you have boutiques that are promoting tourism.
Yes.
And when the tourists come to the country, they want to buy something in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
T-shirts.
my first time I ever went to Belize in 2005, I bought a cute little thing that had Belize on it, right? When I turned it up like that, it says made in China. I was like, really? Made in China.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how come it can't be made in U.S. by Quincy? Okay? So these are the things that we need to be educated on, things that we need to understand, that we do not have to depend on the next door neighbor or the person in our backyard to supply us with funds or with okay, you have a garden. How many people you gonna sell to in your backyard? Your backyard is only so big,
Right.
but you got a whole state that you could sell, so you need more land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the key here is you can have the same product outside of your backyard in another country that needs what you have. Every country needs to do three things: educate their people, feed their people, and house their people. Okay? So if there's a need for housing, what would you do? Go to another country and figure out, Now you can't go over there and put no 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story, because that may not be the culture.
Right.
Okay, the culture may be 1-story, 1-bedroom, because we got a small property. But the key is get out and see what's going on in another country. So we've been in Belize since 2005. I don't want to brag, but I'm going to boast. Or should I say it the other way? I'm not boasting, I'm bragging. Which one is it?
What you doing?
What I'm doing is I'm saying Tri-County is in Belize.
Oh, we bragging and boasting.
We bragging. We're doing them both.
Both.
Okay, Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce is in Belize. We are members of the Belize Chamber of Commerce. We are also part of the capital city in terms of a partnership that we have with that capital city in tourism development. So there's a lot going on there because we're talking about some big major projects that all of our members will have opportunities to be involved in. Mm-hmm. The U.S. has the second largest state-of-the-art embassy there in a country of 400,000 people. And the first one was built in Leodria, Angola, which had 25 million. And so now with 400,000 people and you got this big embassy, you know that it's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. You got the whole, when you look at Cuba and Venezuela, well, I'm not going to get into the politics of it right now, but I'll just say this. we know Belize. Belize knows us.
Mm-hmm.
This is an opportunity for any of our members to be involved. Okay?
And what's the date for the Belize trip?
July 18th to the 22nd. And we do have another mission coming up at the end of August.
Mm.
Yeah.
We in Belize.
Yes, we
What's
in
that,
Belize.
5 times this year?
Yes.
At the end of August will be the 5th?
Will be the 5th.
Wow.
So we will be there at the end of August, and there is another possibility that we'll be there in November. But right now we do know July 18th. The end of August, we don't have the date confirmed yet, but when we get back in July,
Mm-hmm.
or before we even leave, we'll have the date confirmed for August. Because we do have members who are ready to do some things, some big things, some things in agriculture, some things in housing, manufacturing. So it's
exciting.
It is. It really is. It's been 17 years, and you couldn't have told me.
But
17 years it would take. But you know what? The whole 17 years has been a fantastic journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want to do anything any faster, because it's a journey, and it's going to continue to be a journey, but you will see the fruits of, you plant an orange seed because you want an orange tree. Well, the orange tree has to grow to be a tree first. And then once it's a tree, then it will produce the fruit. And that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
But once that fruit start coming, I used to wonder, once they have fruit and we get all the fruit, that's it, right? No. The tree keeps producing fruit. So here's an opportunity to plant a seed, grow a tree, and let it continue to produce.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. I'd like to also thank LaQuondra Levias. I think she ran off on me. I'm just kidding.
She probably was busy.
I want to thank her too. That was a great presentation by her.
Good.
And I said presentation, but it wasn't a presentation. It was just a conversation
Good.
between us. Also like to thank you all for listening in to our Let's Talk Business podcast presented by Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. I'm Quincy Pittman, and I would like to thank our President and Chairman Club members, Amico Federal Credit Union, Enlightenment Enterprises, Lamar Institute of Technology in Beaumont, Lone Star College, the Linwood Group, Southwest Airlines, and Quality Precision Coatings, and supporting our Let's Talk Business podcast. We're going to be signing out, but I promise you we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye-bye.